feet. So you're going to multiply by 250 on both sides. So you got 250 times tan of 44. And it gives you 241.4. And then you are 5 feet more to go because 5 feet more to the ground. So 246.4 feet to the nearest tenth. 246.4. So I had to do tangent because it was opposite what I was looking for. Adjacent's what they gave me. Opposite over adjacent's always tan, TOA. That was 1718. Okay, you're hiked 400 feet up a steep hill that has a 25-degree angle of elevation as shown in the diagram. So this is really all you would need right here is this diagram. And it says, give each side an angle measure. So we're solving this triangle. So that means we want to find big B. That's the easy one. It's just 90 minus 25. So that's 65 degrees. So that's one answer. So you would put 65 in for big B right here. And then we want to find little a. We got 25 degrees. Little a is the opposite. And across from the right angle is your hypotenuse. So to get little a, I would use sine. Sine of 25 equals the opposite side a over the hypotenuse 400. It's always O. It's always opposite over hypotenuse for sine. So if you want sine, you got to put the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Multiply both sides by 400. And you get A equals 400 times sine of 25. And you get 169. So 169 feet, that goes up into little a. And then little b is going to be our adjacent side. And I would still use hypotenuse. So I would do cosine of 25 equals my adjacent side b over my hypotenuse 400. Again, multiply by 400, but this time you're multiplying by cosine of 25. 400 times cosine of 25, and you get 362 and a half. So 362.5 is little b. 362 and a half would round up to 363. So I guess it was to the nearest foot. Yeah, nearest whole number. Nearest whole number would make that 363. So you had to solve all three sides and all three angles. So it's nice when they give you an angle and the right angle because the last angle is just 90 minus that if it's a right triangle. That's the easy part. 2 left. 2 to go. Here we go. Number 19. Okay, in order to meet ADA, American with Disabilities Act requirements, a wheelchair ramp must have an angle of elevation of no more than 4.8 degrees. A builder needs to install a ramp to reach a door that's 1.5 feet off the ground. Okay, so 1.5 feet is the step. Okay, you're going to have your ground here and the ramp here. Okay, it says, what angle of elevation will this ramp have? It's 25 feet long enough, so we're going to see if a 25-foot ramp would be long enough to meet the requirements, is what it's basically asking you. It's not worded great. I'll tell you that right now. It's not worded great. So they first want to know is 25 feet long enough to meet the requirements? So we want to know if this angle is going to be 4.8 degrees or less, because it cannot be more than 4.8. So that means I'm going to need an inverse opposite over hypotenuse. Actually, that's the right angle, so there's my hypotenuse. So it's an inverse sine, because it's opposite and hypotenuse. So I want to do an inverse sine, sine -1 of 1.5 over 25. And I want to see what the angle is. So inverse sine of 1.5 divided by 25. Put that in the calculator, you get 3.44 degrees. So 3.44 degrees. So would it meet it? Would it meet the requirements? Is it no more than 4.8? Yes, it would. And angle of elevation will be approximately 3.44 degrees. So yes, it would meet it. So it's 1.5 feet off the ground. It's a 25-foot ramp. It would have an angle of 3.44 degrees. It would be fine. They'd be able to get up the ramp. Okay. Last one is a one law of sine problem, because you have two angles, and when you're given two angles, you can find the third angle by doing 180 minus 34 minus 46. It's not 90. None of these are 90 degrees. So I can't just do 90 minus a number. I've got to actually take these two away from 180 because it's not a right triangle. So if I in my calculator do 180 minus 34 minus 46, you get 100 degrees right here. The reason I found this angle is because now I have both b's. I have capital B and I have little b. So I can make a fraction out of that. Sine of 100 over little b, which is 165. So it's sine of big B over little b. Now it's asking me, says, what is the distance from A to B? From A to B marker, from A to B. That means I need little c. I need little c. So I need to get sine of c, sine of 46 over little c. This is the one I need right here. I don't need from C to B, so I don't want the 34-degree angle. I want the 46-degree angle. Now I'm going to multiply the two that I have numbers for. I don't have this C right here, but I have these two numbers that are diagonals. So 165 times the sine of 46 equals, you get 118.69. And you would, if you multiplied those two together, you'd get C times the sine of 100. Well, you're going to be dividing by the sine of 100. Because you want to get little c by itself. So take that 118.69 and divide it by the sine of 100. And it equals 120.5. So you get 120.5 is your little c, and that was filled in right here, 120.5. Any questions? Okay, so make sure you have that on a paper. If you want to show it to me now, and I can open up a quiz for you or test for you before you leave. If you're on the video, you'll have to show it to me Tuesday.